Hello, my family. This is High Priestess Key 333 in the place to be for the one to the two and the three. Hello. Okay, I am here to do your full moon messages. All right, not full moon, new moon. I don't know why I said full moon. I guess the full moon been on my mind. Okay, because the last full moon was a good full moon for me. I worked with that energy, honey, and that portal came wide open. Okay. So today we're talking about the new moon in Cancer, true sidereal and Vedic. All right. So you guys know that's what I resonate with, the true sidereal and the Vedic. So if you are that if you resonate with Western astrology, this won't be the information for you. Okay. Um, and I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say this information translates what is accurate within the sky, what you can put your two eyes and look out in the sky, even through a telescope, and see what the planetary alignment is at this time, at this hour. The energy that I function off of is more of the Eastern astrology, the true sidereal, the Vedic sidereal, right? The nakshatras and things of that sort, the planets, okay? The moon, the sun, the stars, okay? The zodiacs, right? So I like to always explain that before I come on and speak about the spiritual astrology, is what I also call it, because that's when the ancestors come in and give us those messages that we need to know, that are going to be accurate. Okay. So I like to tell you guys that I'm just a vessel, I'm just a messenger to deliver the messages to you guys through the planetary alignment. All right. That's what I'm here to deliver based off of the new moon in Cancer. All right. Watery energy moving in. So we will probably continue to see a lot of weather energy, a lot of things dealing with water, because that water element is here. Okay. A lot of new things that will come up in reference of, we'll see a lot of emotional things, but we'll also see the sins come through. A lot of cancer cases. Okay. So before further ado, we get into it. Today, I got my pictures, right, from showing you the actual telescope in the sky. I'm going to show you the sky live. You can go to Sky Live, which shows you the depiction, and you can track it down to the longitude, latitude of what's in the actual sky. I'm going to show you that. My intentions with this video is to enlighten you of the true and not the illusion, deception of the degrees that have been moved and tampered with. All right. Although, many of us have resonated with the Western for years, but in some cases, we have to, in some situations, I'm going to say, which is not really shown, because when the truth is always shunned, right? So yes, family. I also want to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers and one of my good spiritual sisters, that sent me. She has a company called Effie Lou. Please go out there to her website and check it out. But she made me this shirt, family. Look at the shirt. I'm gonna see if I can get it so you guys can see. High Priestess Key 333, and she got my cards, right? She got my I have a crystal ball that looks just like this, but she also have Lord Ganesh, and I love Lord Ganesh, um, the Hindu god, okay, that I also work with. So it was perfect that she made this for me. But if you can see it, it has High Priestess Key 333. I have it tied up on the side because it's a little big, right? But this is my new shirt that she gave me for my birthday, and I love it. Okay. But yes, I wanted to represent for that here today on High Priestess Key 333. That is me. Okay. So let's get to this message. All right. Further ado, I've been talking for 4 minutes. All right. All right. So let me share my screen, family, and present to you what is to be shown, right? So the first thing, I'm gonna start out with the slides. Okay, I'm gonna start out with the pictures, rather, the images that I have downloaded. Okay, let's get this up. So this is, and let me take this down so you can see. Wait. Okay. So you can actually see today's date, okay, July 23rd, 10 o'clock this morning. Venus is still in Taurus. Uranus is still in Taurus. Okay. Although they even threw me off at one point in time. It was like Uranus is in Gemini. No, it's not. In the true sidereal and in the Vedic, Uranus is still in Taurus. I pulled it up again this morning to see where the planetary alignment sits this morning, family. The sun is in Cancer at 0 degrees. I'm sorry, at 6 degrees. And this was as of 10:19, 10:23 this morning. The moon is in Gemini, which I also have a picture to present to you in that, right? So let me go to my next picture. Okay, here's Gemini, right? The moon is in Gemini. So if the moon on the 24th for the new moon, how is it gonna be in Leo? And it's just at 7:23 today at 10:30 in the morning, just in Gemini. There's no way. And you see it moving outside of it, but you know the moon moves I think it's 2 days in one sign, right? 48 or 52 hours or something like that, right? Down to the hours. But it doesn't stay long. But there's still no way between now, this morning at 10:30 on July the 23rd, 2025, that the moon is in Gemini, okay? And I'm going to show it to you in multiple places because I want you to see the planetary alignment. So when I talk about it in the true sidereal and the Vedic, you know that this is something you can go out into the sky and see yourself. I don't want to put any delusion or illusions out there. I want you to be able to see it for your own self. Okay? All right. And if you want to tap in with your ancestors, that definitely will give you the confirmation, clarification, because that's where I got it from. I tap in, family, and ask source. Okay. So you can see all these other planets and placements and things around it, but you know they're serious way over there, right? Belcalis. Okay. Um, but yeah, so let's get back to it. So you even see Jupiter, that's right here by Gemini. Okay, so Mars is in Leo, and I'm gonna show you where Leo is, where they say that the new moon is, and there's no way that the moon way over here in Gemini is gonna be past Cancer and the sun. No. Okay, the sun is in Cancer, as we said earlier. Mercury is in Cancer. You see where Mercury is, right? All this is Cancer energy here because you got to think about how big the planetary or the actual planet is or the zodiac energy is. Because remember, everything is energy, right? So this is a depiction of how it reflects in the sky. So that energy of Cancer is in Mercury still, okay? Which Mercury is retrograde right now in Cancer. So see how Mercury has backed up away from it. And remember, Mercury is about backing out, backing up, rewinding, right? But it's still in that energy of Cancer. So take heed to that along with this Cancer new moon. Okay. So we got a lot of Cancer energy. Plus, we're in Cancer sun. So I'm going to talk a lot about Cancer energy today. So Jupiter is in Gemini or still in Gemini's energy. Um, Venus is in Taurus, which I showed you earlier, right? With this right here, with Venus being in Taurus, right? Saturn is in Pisces. I don't know if I took a depiction of Saturn, but let's go to the next photo. No, this was just me showing you where Mercury was closer. Let me see if I got one in reference of Saturn. I don't think I did, family. Let's see. No, I'm showing you a lot about the where the moon is actually. So you see the twins energy, right? This kind of depicts to you and shows you. It just gives you the depiction, so you can have a visual, so you can see with your two eyes. So there's no, problem in you understanding. But as you can see, here's the Gemini energy that's with Jupiter in the moon, and see where Venus is back here with Taurus, and the Sun is in Cancer. Let me see if I got one more. I didn't take one of Saturn, but I meant to take that for you guys. Wait, is that the same one? No, that's a different way of looking at it. Okay, so since we're here, we'll talk about it. Saturn, Neptune is both in Pisces still, and I think they're telling you that Neptune and I think they're telling you Saturn and Neptune is in Aries and it's not. Let me see if I can get a picture or a depiction of that family. Here is Saturn and Neptune. Yeah. Okay, so I can show you on my phone, right? I can try to show it on my phone. I don't know if it's gonna come up good, but uh, let me see if I put this down and show you guys. Okay, wait. Okay. So there's Saturn and there's Neptune. You probably can't see it well, but that's Pisces. Those are the fishes, right? So it's still in Pisces. All right. So I just wanted to show you that, right? But as you can see, going back to the message here, I just wanted to show you the depiction of the moon because that's what we're here to talk about. Not to be long winded, but let me tell you the rest of the planetary alignment. Saturn is retrograde in Pisces. Um, Rahu is retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn. And Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus, which I have shown you here, right? Sorry, here. Okay, Uranus is in Taurus. Aries is in Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Okay, so and I have Aries in Chiron, so I'm doing a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work, bringing a lot of things from the darkness to the light, right? And then we have K2 that is retrograde in Leo. So see that Mars and that K2 has conjunct in Leo. Okay, what I talked about on the warnings, what I talked about in the Gibbous Waning. So please go check out those readings as well. So I don't want this to be too long. I'm gonna talk about right now, since I have shown you guys the actual planetary alignments. I've shown you guys the sun, right, in Cancer. I showed you Mercury in Cancer. I showed you his moon is still in Gemini right now. Jupiter also, right? I've showed you all of this, family. So look, this is what's in the sky. Don't let no one else tell you different. All you got to do, you can fact check me. You can go back and look and check this, okay? All right, so the new moon, the 24th of July 2025 on Thursday. The new moon will take place in Sidereal Cancer. Now in the Vedic, it's in what we call Pusha Nakshatra at 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time. The planetary influence of the time of the new moon and gives an indication of themes that will characterize the next 30 days. Now, when I pull up the energy of tomorrow, right? The 24th at it said 3, what did it say? 3, what time is it gonna be on at 3:10? 3:10. So let me put 10 here at 3:10. Okay. Tomorrow. Okay, when I change the planetary alignment, yes, the sun will be in Cancer, the moon will be in Cancer, Mercury retrograde will be in Cancer. Let's look and see where the nakshatras are looking like around the moon. So let's see what the nakshatras transit will look like tomorrow. At that time, the sun will be in Pusha, the moon will be in Pusha nakshatra, Mercury will still be in Alisha, Verdict. All right. 22 degrees for Mercury. It'll be at 34 degrees in both the sun and the moon in Pusha in the zodiac of Cancer. It will be that tomorrow, which is Saturn's energy. Karmic, karma times. Saturn is about water. Saturn is about power. Saturn is about money. Saturn is about restrictive situations, limitations, constraints. Saturn is with that Pusha in the nakshatra is going to be very strong because Saturn is actually in Uttara Bahadra, Padra. I hope I'm saying that right. At 32 degrees, but still Saturn energy. So it all is, I'm saying all to say, which Neptune is also in Uttara Bahadra, which at 33 degrees, which is the Lion's Gate and the Lion's Den. It's a lot of 3s and 4s, which gives me Moon and Venus energy, but it also is heavy. New Moon is Saturn energy all the way. Now, I know that sounds crazy to a lot of you guys, but what I'm telling you is based off of the planetary alignment, that's the way we have to look at it. Now, Saturn will be prominent during the new moon. I'm telling you. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. So the new moon, for a number of reasons, like I just told you, Saturn goes back to Pusha, the lunar mansions, where the new moon occurs, is governed by Saturn. Okay, and I'm gonna talk about Saturn. Also, Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, which is very spiritual as well. But Pisces is also the law of I always forget Pisces law, right? Governing law. I don't know why. Okay, the law of attraction. So what you attract to self, okay? But that also, that Pisces energy is about the messenger of endurance, so what you endure, right? So you must stay positive. You must keep positive thoughts around this new moon. You must, put out positive energy. The best way to combat this Saturn fierce energy is to give back, is to show love, is to stay focused on positive things, to know and have faith, to stand on your beliefs. These are the things, and it's a major big time of manifestation now. And in this Pisces energy, being that Saturn has retrograde, and Saturn's energy is very strong in the new moon of Cancer. It's all about that loving, healing, sending it to the ancestors, healing energy and love and nurturing them so you can manifest your desires. That's the good in this energy. I'm telling you the good. I'm telling you the solution. Like we always, people give you bad news, but they don't tell you nothing good. The good you see, is to be intentional and aware that right now it's about you drawing in that law of attraction to yourself by putting out the good. Because remember, everything is reciprocal, everything is duality, everything you put out is coming back, especially when you're tapping in on the spiritual side of things. And Pisces is the most spiritual, right? Is what they say, right? So, especially with it being connected to the moon anyway, right? Because in the spiritual astrology, it's connected to the moon strongly with that Pisces energy. Pisces is all about, finding your way, right? It's about being emotionally connected. You may be very emotional at this time, being that we got all this water connected to that energy, okay? Work with water, family. If you're doing a lot of rituals around this time, work with water. I have chills, okay, to usher in some things for you. Um, right now, it's about the sacral chakra. You want to work with the sacral chakra. It's about the power of attraction right now, okay? And I'm telling you about the good things, okay? How to manifest and how to use this energy in reference of what we're dealing with. Work with Archangel Zachiel, okay? That would be a good archangel to work with in this energy that is here, all right? Cancer energy also is prominent, right? All the way around. And with Cancer, it's about the law of rhythm. That is the governed um, universal law, the law of rhythm. So that tells us about what? The cycles of nature, the part of the universe that has the highs and the lows. That's what we're going to be seeing. That's why that Saturn energy is retrograde. But they tell you retrogrades are bad, but retrogrades, if you really tap in, can work in your favor, especially when you're doing all good, because then that's the blockages. Those are the binds. Those are the things that have kept you restricted. For those that are doing good, is now off, and the portal is open. So now it's time for you to manifest those desires, family. Start working on your vibrations. Continue to keep your vibrations high. Right now, you should be listening to some things that keeps the rhythm of your flow to be able to receive with ease, right? And go with the flow. But Cancer energy is about the heart chakra for sure, right? Cancer energy is about the messenger of sin. So sins that you're in and sins that you carry for others. And I just got this lesson in the new moon in Cancer. That's why ancestors don't lie, family. To Be careful who you doing spiritual work for, who you listening to spiritually. Be careful of the sins that you're carrying for other people, whether that's your lover, your child, your family, your friends, or whoever. Don't block your blessings by taking up and carrying the sins of others. That's what you should be putting into the universe and putting into the ethers. Ancestors, I come to you humbly. I ask that you take and remove all binds and blockages and any things that I may have carried or sins that may have been in. I ask for repentance. I ask that you show mercy on my soul and they not know what they have done. And I don't want to pick up any of that, right? I ask that you help me move on. These are the prayers. These are the things you should be putting out in the universe, speaking to your ancestors, let them know. And they know your heart. They know you've done things from the kindness, and sometimes some people don't learn those lessons, right? So you must not put yourself in a bind and block your own blessings, especially if it's a repeated thing, because that's what another part of Cancerians is repeated cycles. You helping being the loving and the nurturing person over and over and over again to your own demise. So with that Saturn energy, it will teach you some lessons. It will bring that karmic energy in like this. And it'll take you out, especially with the Neptune in the same nakshatra, right? Neptune don't play, come through to destroy, okay? So the things that are here, family, is for us to pay attention. This could be a very strong time here on Earth because Cancer is energy of Earth. Some people always look at Cancer as being water, but really Cancer in the spiritual astrology, we look at that as something different. Okay, so earthly possessions and things like that. If you're doing the greater good, you're going to see a flux in that. It's going to go up. If you're doing the negative, you're going to see a go down on that right now. Okay. It's about, stepping into your earthly things. Use your herbs, do some things around using herbs, water, crystals, nature, right? To raise your vibration, to raise the rhythm of things, right? So you need to be talking about the sins that you may have done or you've been in before to help someone else to come out of it. This is a good time to express that, and let others do the same. Let others confess to you what they're doing. And you might hear those things. You might get a lot of apologies right now, a lot of people coming back and spinning the block and telling you they're sorry. Okay, you'll see a lot of that, you'll hear a lot of that, but on the negative side, we'll see a lot of stealing, a lot of killing, a lot of addictions, very addictive things. And people who are addicted to things right now, family, are going to be to the extreme. You're going to see it like crazy, and it's going to mess with people's mental health. We're going to see a lot of mental health go up. The people who have been shunning their mental health, is going to be major things that happen around mental health because they can't take on the sins and the things that they're doing, the addictions, the drugs, the alcohol, whatever it may be, overindulging in toxic behavior. You're going to see that come to people's demise. We're going to see a lot of deaths. Okay. We're going to see a lot of sacrifices. We're going to see it. I've been talking about it anyway on my channel. I told you July was going to be crazy. We already have so many deaths that are happening. And they're not all by just someone doing something to themselves. It's at the hands of other peoples and the sins that they're in. You see? So, right now you can speak things into existence very strongly if you have that power. Your spiritual abilities will be on high. It's Cancers, Pisces, all this energy of spiritual water and earth. All of these things are heightened. Okay. If you're ready to tap in, now is the time, right? Um, so we'll see a lot of things around ice storms in the places where it will be, right? Tornadoes. We'll see a lot on floodings, earthquakes, storm winds, windstorms, and things like that. Landslides. We're going to see a lot of that, family. So be ready to pay attention and pay attention to some of the things that are happening and what we can see or what we'll see happening. We'll also, like I said, mental illness. Be careful of the things that you're taking in your body. A lot of you right now, you need to be careful, especially if you are prone to like things of iodine and stuff like that. That goes with that Cancerian energy. A lot of things here about foods. Be careful of the foods that you eat, you're taking in, and of course water. We will see a rise in cancer, right now. We have three planets that are in Cancer, one retrograde. Okay. We'll also see a lot here in reference of, like I said, just the energy around major situations with people. And we'll see a lot of people doing some negative things, family. I have to say it. We'll see a lot of things around foreign travel right now. Um, and like I said, wildfires, floods, all these things are going to come into fruition with this energy that we're in, especially with that Saturn's energy. The new moon is definitely a time for you to tap in, harness the energy that is around you at this time. I'm just looking through my notes. The new moon is about new beginnings, but it's also about that energy of Saturn that we're sitting in. And with the nakshatra in that Pusha, and that's like I said, governed by Saturn. Saturn is retrograde, which is powerful in the sense of retrogression, spilling over kind of effect. While the next nakshatra, that is, it happens to rule, which is Ultra Bhadra Pada, which means the Saturn's effects are concentrated. That means when something is concentrated, it's strong. It's strong. And another factor joins where the moon and Saturn is that Saturn happens to be in 7 degrees of Pisces, while the new moon occurs in 7 degrees of Cancer. So there they share the degrees. And I just told you they share the degrees as well. So that increases the link. So there will be an emphasis, a strong, strong emphasis where we'll have a lot of energy that is projected in Saturn. Okay. If you have Saturn in your chart, you got to be aware of these things. Um, so, you know, even though they're in different signs, Saturn is associated also in the Vedic and the true Sidereal, where I've been getting this information to give you, is the creation of structure. It's more practical planning. Okay. So over the coming weeks, it's greater grounding in life is what is needed. Stay grounded, do your meditation, do your prayer, stay in meditation and prayer. Stay grounded. Okay. That's going to be the priority. Definitely long-term planning things out, setting goals, managing your resources differently, saving, preparing, stocking up. There may be a sense of that patience as well to compromise is required, where Saturn in the Vedic astrology is the slowest moving planet. Saturn brings many things, family. A lot of heart diseases, cardiovascular issues. We'll see a lot of cancer issues. I told you that. But definitely liver issues, things of that side. Saturn is ruled in reference of the father side. So a lot of things with masculine energy that comes through the father. Okay. Saturn is connected in the spiritual astrology to Aries. So Aries, this is a time where things will be very potent for you. Okay. Aries, Cancer, and Pisces. Some of the true signs that I'm seeing are very heightened in message. And this message is quite long because it needs to be this way. Okay. Because this is important. So there may be times of recognizing the reality of one's mortality and increased awareness that time on earth is precious. Okay. Because there'll be a lot of demise. There'll be a lot of people leaving this planet, family. And so you'll start recognizing and realizing, you'll start seeing a lot of people coming online and awakening, having this light bulb that comes on and shines down, right? Because Cancer is also that loving energy, but it's also about the things that you reflect on and you start understanding the sins that you've been in and how it's affected your life, okay? So this is what the ancestors are saying. The new moon nakshatra Pusha is most lunar mansion, which can encourage Saturn's most more desirable and noble qualities. So it can actually, kind of shift it to be where you can, hopefully make informed decisions, but your intuition and your discernment will be on high when you need to pay attention to it, so you need to listen to it. Saturn's energy also can, that Cancer energy and the loving energy can bring some nations together. We may see some countries and some nations having to come together, having to get along to come along. This could be within the United Nations, Saudi Arabia, Australia, all these different countries that we may see, United Kingdom, India, Czechoslovakia, all these countries coming together with us and with other countries. Um, but it's all about situation awareness right now, right? It's all about money right now. So we'll see some things with the stocks change, okay? Power, all right. The Pusha has meanings of nurturing as well. The impulse to uplift. So this is for those that are doing good. This is a wonderful time. You will be uplifted. You will feel uplifted. I know I have. This has been a wonderful time for me. I have Saturn in my chart as well, but that energy of those blocks and those vines have been lifted. And I thank the ancestors, right? And so it is. That Pusha and Cancer is definitely working, in reference of that. Under Saturn's down to earth, mature, because Saturn is mature, but malefic in some cases, right? Is looking beyond one's personal needs to consider the needs of others may naturally be developed. Yes, it'll be a time for you where you're gonna feel to pay it forward. You're gonna feel to help others. You're gonna feel that this is the current time of caregiving, loving on others and those pouring into you and you pouring into them. And it may be stronger potential for caregiver fatigue as well. So also on the other side of that, which we have duality and everything, you may feel tired of helping others. If you've already been doing this, if you've been carrying the weight, remember we talked about cancers also, carrying the sins of others. Okay. So it's a lot here around that. You may feel that, right? Nursing on others, helping others. You may feel the weight of that very strongly. But that's the influence of the powerful Saturn, along with motherly Pusha, Nakshatra. Okay. So this is in the verdict. This is a time to balance all of these energies, tending to others with care, and also first self, nurturing self, nurturing self, nurturing self, and then pour that energy into others once you have recharged yourself. Okay, especially your health. Now is a good time for you to get those checkups. I talked about this in other readings. Now is a good time for you to work with your archangels, your guardian angels, your deities, your spiritual, the spiritual side of things. It's a good time to tap into, do your ancestor veneration, tap in with your lineage on your ancestor side of things. Let's see us get a message out in reference of this new moon energy for the collective ancestors. Just give me 3 cards because this done went a little long, but this was needed for you to know about this new moon energy. All right. Definitely right now because it's important. New moon energy, ancestors for the collective. Yes, right. It's time to align. Okay. It's time to align. It's time to unwind. And now, right now, we got a lot of energy of excessive um, sensitivity, right? A lot of low vibrational energy is here. A lot of sins, a lot of sacrifices, like I told you guys, a lot of things coming into alignment, though. Okay, you'll see 555 a lot. Things on the earth needs to be balanced out. You need to ground yourself. A lot of motherly energy right now. Things are lining up for those who are doing the greater good. And for those who aren't, you're going to continue to have to sacrifice. You're going to continue to have sorrow and regrets. Please do the things, go for your dreams. Now is the time. Nurture yourself and nurture others. Okay, I have a lot of that coming out here. Also, the light ones, shine your light. Now is the time. Okay, a lot is coming out about um, cures. We'll see some cures happen, like things being cured, right? You may even receive a cure for something that health wise that could be happening. It could be cancer, you know. So I'm seeing that too. If you're doing good, this is the energy. If you're not, you're gonna be in low vibrational energy. You're gonna have trauma, and that's as simple as that. You know, many diseases I'm seeing here: sickle cell, lupus, all these different immune diseases and cancers. There's a cure to those things if you are in the right vibrational energy. If your rhythm is set on high with your vibes, things can change. All right. With the ancestors, all things are possible. All right. So know that it's true. Know that the ancestors love you, and know that I'm here for you as well too. All right. I love you. This is High Priestess Key signing off. Sorry it was so long, but I had to bring the messages. Be careful of accidents. Plan ahead. All right. Be careful. Drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. You need to pay attention. Be aware, family. Be informed, and use informed your intuition and discernment. Make informed decisions. All right. I love you. See you guys. Peace.